Председатель, сожалею о принятых вами сегодня решениях.
Chairman, I regret the decisions you have taken today. We convened the meeting on the 25th anniversary of the NATO aggression against sovereign Yugoslavia, the consequences of which continue to have an impact on the degradation of the situation and the situation in the Balkans. And contrary to the cynical statements of our Western colleagues, this is not a historical issue at all. The situation in Kosovo remains on the Security Council's agenda and is being actively discussed. And, as is well known, the situation there has recently degenerated catastrophically. And in order to understand how to establish a lasting peace on Serbian soil, it is necessary to talk about the true causes of today's escalation. On March 24, 1999, a coalition of countries of the so-called Defense Alliance, led by the United States, invaded the Federal Republic of Yugoslavia under the slogan, "To stop the alleged ethnic cleansing in Kosovo." In reality, the Yugoslav army and police fought an extremely exhausting battle against Kosovo Albanian terrorist gangs. The infamous Kosovo Liberation Army, whose ringleaders are now in the dock at The Hague, ruthlessly destroyed Serbian and disloyal Albanian population. However, Western propaganda turned thugs into freedom-loving rebels and warriors of good, and the legitimate authorities of Yugoslavia, who were defending the constitutional order, into military criminals and to demonize the Serbs. Cynical provocations were staging, and the aggression of the North Atlantic Alliance against a sovereign country lasted 78 days and turned out to be unimaginable suffering, numerous casualties, and catastrophic destruction for its population. And this is what the NATO members present in the room. At the same time, members of the Security Council did not want to hear. NATO's aggression against Yugoslavia was a blatant violation of international law, fundamental to the purpose and principles of the Charter of the UN, the Helsinki Final Act of the CSC, the norm of the principle of international humanitarian law, the authority of the UN Security Council, which did not give any approval to the alliance's forceful actions against Yugoslavia, was seriously undermined. It was simply confronted with the fact, since the beginning of the bloody collapse of the Socialist Federal Republic of Yugoslavia, orchestrated and sponsored by the United States, Germany, and others, and attacks on Yugoslavia, the alliance has undermined the established security architecture that had provided peace to Europe for many decades. This is typical destructive NATO signature. The attack on Yugoslavia launched a series of large-scale aggressions by the US and its allies around the world against Iraq, Libya, Afghanistan, and Syria. The results of these adventures are well known. And the anti-constitutional coup d'etat in Kiev in 2014 has its roots in the same place. Some colleagues on the Security Council would surely say today that the events of 25 years ago are history and have no relevance today. However, it is clear to any reasonable person can see that it is the destruction of a sovereign state that led to the chaos that is gaining momentum not only in Kosovo, but also in the Balkans in general. That is what we were going to discuss at today's meeting. Would you agree that this is relevant to the work of the Security Council in adopting the Resolution 1244? And in conclusion, Madam President, since the representative of France has argued in this room today that the provisional presidency is null and void, we will be forced, since we cannot trust the written communications from the chairmanship. We will insist that the agenda for each meeting of the Security Council be adopted by procedural vote. Let's call this established precedent the Conductor's Clause. Thank you.
Сообщением от председательства. Мы будем настаивать, чтобы повестка дня каждого заседания СБ утверждалась процедурным голосованием. Назовем этот созданный прецедент оговоркой де Ривьера. Благодарю вас.